All right, here we go, Demi. Demi has returned. The players are ready. The casters are ready. Krupp is ready.
I'm really stupid.
What?
Like I said, I'm happy that Joel had his coffee in 30 years before spoiler, and I thought he was referring to Ellie. Sorry, I did not connect the dots that he was talking about The Last of Us. I was like, oh, good for Ellie. Sorry, good on him.
What do you think that meant for Elisa? What do you want? You're like, oh, he never had coffee before? Question mark. And he's dead. You thought he died?
I thought MeomaikA was predicting his downfall.
What? They're like, oh wow, MeomaikA is predicting Elisa won't make it to the age of 31.
That's Mio. And speaking of which, we're now here on Romanticide LE. LE, of course, standing for Lovers Extra. Lovers Extra. That's when you're in love, but you're not just in love because it also gives you like other benefits. In the bottom right-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, the Blues player coming down from Vietnam. He is the last of his kind, the last of the cats. Currently teamless, we have MeomaikA.
Shaking my head. That's spawning in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide LE. We have the Southeast Asian Zerg player, the Red Zerg, hailing from the land of India, representing Team Downfall Gaming. He is the Great White Shark. He is Demi.
I can already feel Eddie clipping that. I can already feel Eddie like clipping that and sending it to Empty Story.
Is his name Joel?
I think so.
You think so?
I just remember it started with a J.
I know it's I'm like it's not. It does start with a J.
I'll look this up real quick.
God. I thought it was like Joshua or something. I don't know. God. All right, hold on, crew. Hold on, as we both look at Wikipedia.
Justin. Who's Joel?
Who's Joel? Joel's
Wait.
Joel's dead, mate. What are you on about? Oh my god. God damn it.
Wait, so who's Joel?
Joel's the dad! He's the dad! God, alright. So we have a ZvZ for the ages here. We have the winner of this series is not only going to be the champion of GPO number 38, but also going to be the player with the most Grand Platypus Open wins, period. And oh my god, we'll see how this goes. Like, I don't know if you saw in the chat, but Demi, before this game started, he's like, was it wise of me to have won the last series? Like, what have I gotten myself into?
Yeah, he was saying, ay, Dios mío, MeomaikA, compadre.
Ay. Yes, verbatim, he said those words. Oh boy, and we already see MeomaikA is doing MeomaikA things. You don't typically see this. These two queens, look how far off of creep they are. They're in the middle of nowhere just to hunt down this overlord.
Yeah, normally you see two queens. They're a little bit far off creep to hunt that overlord, or you see one queen far off creep to hunt the overlord. Never two, and now we kind of see why. MeomaikA is throwing everything he's got at Demi's side of the map.
Exactly, we've got a wave of lings on the way, a wave of lings already in the center of the map as well, going to be meeting up with these queens, and again, it's something you don't typically see, but MeomaikA is going for this timing, going for this push with queens and lings.
Not only queens and lings, he is also getting some roaches ready for backup, just to have something that can soak up a couple of baneling hits.
Oh god, and speaking of, like, this is something that MeomaikA is notorious for, his poor Bane micro, at least going up against Veiling, so we'll see if he pulls a MeomaikA, we'll see how good the Baneing connections are gonna be.
Yeah, unfortunately you can't really micro queens, but it's all about the lings. Demi does not even want to waste any of his banelings on those queens. And I mean, the army supply favors MeomaikA right now, but one good baneling connection, that is all Demi needs to completely turn this game on its head.
Yeah, exactly. Really, I'm pretty sure that's why we have these queens here from MeomaikA to try and snipe the banelings. But you know what? The baneling connections are good enough, and it looks like Demi is able to clean up all the lings.
Indeed he is. He gets those other two queens as well. And MeomaikA is building up a bit of a roach horse here. But was it worth it?
That's the question. MeomaikA, he's down almost 10 workers, and he is not looking to replace them, to replenish them. He's still making nothing but roaches and nothing but lings. And Demi, I would have been a little bit concerned if he decided to drone up there. He did make a couple of drones, but he is still working on his defense, making more queens, making more lings.
Yeah, he could have taken that chance on Gogo Joey, but he knows he cannot take even the slightest risk against MeomaikA. He needs to be safe and sound. Oh, immediate GG. Well, I guess being safe and sound wasn't even gonna be enough there.
Yeah, GG. The roaches waddle on in, and you know what? Demi, he had no vision of it. He had no idea because those queens cleaned out the path, cleaned out all those overlords in the center of the map. And sure, Demi had a massive wave of lings, but that's all he had. You know, he didn't have any stacked defense ready. He didn't have very many queens, and lings without +1 melee, like they can struggle against roaches.
Absolutely. I feel like if MeomaikA actually hit even just 10 or 15 seconds later, Demi would have probably felt a bit more confident there. He would have had at least a spine crawler up. He would have had maybe another round of lings here. Could have tried to get some stuff in position. But MeomaikA, he hit right at the correct timing.
Yeah, definitely. And Demi saw the writing on the wall, you know, as you would say. He does end up tapping out there, and MeomaikA takes game number 1. As a reminder, this is the finals. This is a best of 5.
Indeed, it is. This is not match point. No player has a point advantage here. It's kind of funny to remind myself every time.
Yeah, exactly. Again, it's been a while since we've had a single limb bracket. Hopefully
signed up.
Yeah, hopefully this is not the last one. You know, hopefully plenty more to come.
Yeah, hopefully this is not The Last of Us 2.
F's in the chat for Justin. God damn it.
I feel like I've done a lot of dumb things when I casted in these 3 years that I've been casting. This has got to be one of the stupidest.
Maybe one of. God damn it. Also, thanks so much, Shepard, in the chat. Yes, we are still awake. I mean, to be fair, this tournament is a little bit more time zone friendly for us since we are from Australia and Singapore. But but yo, after that long cast this morning, I'm ready to pass out after this.
Ready for another long cast tomorrow? Anyway, as Light comes to terms with his fate, we are now going to be looking at Lightshade LE. We're in the bottom right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. The Red Zerg player coming down from India. He is looking to defend his title as the Grand Platypus. Representing Downfall Gaming, we have the Shock himself, Demi.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the Southeast Asian Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, hailing from the land of Vietnam, the big cat himself, coming in with this pool first. It is MeomaikA.
I guess that's another thing about MeomaikA and Demi that just makes this such an interesting matchup is we do have that massive clash of styles. Like, even if we didn't have the title of Grand Platypus on the line, I feel like people would still really enjoy watching this.
Oh yeah, it's like it's these two Southeast Asian Zerg players who are like at opposite ends of the spectrum, you know. Demi, he's the kind of player who wants to play macro, you know. He wants to get to 3 bases, he wants to roach Ravager it up. Meanwhile, MeomaikA, he does things like send 2 queens across the map, you know.
Exactly. We talk a lot about this when we talk about Protoss players. Demi, he's on the x-axis, as in he can explain what he's doing, or you can explain what he's doing. MeomaikA, he's on the y-axis.
Yeah.
As in why.
Yeah. The entire time you're just questioning. You've just got this big why face, you know, like what is happening here in this game. And we do see MeomaikA, he did go for a pull first, but like part of me would say like, oh, it's kind of like a defensive pull, but like in the hands of MeomaikA, like I don't even know. Like I can't even predict.
Yeah, MeomaikA, he is one to go for the pull first, as he's got some trust issues. He does not trust his opponent to, you know, not be overly aggressive with him. But as we mentioned earlier in the cast, it gives the Zerg player a lot more flexibility, a lot more opportunity to, you know, just decide how they want to play this out. They're not boxing themselves in.
Exactly. Demi, he's playing this out a little bit more standard. You know, he did go for a hatch gas pool. He's got Ling speed on the way. He's not skipping out on the Bailey nest either, just in case there is this big Ling flood, just like there was in game number 1. So we can have Bailings ready for the defense. And yeah, at the moment, my eyes are kind of on MeomaikA as he looks to expand and take a third.
Yeah, a little bit quicker than what I remember from MeomaikA, I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, we'll see how this comes into play. Is this the time where MeomaikA decides, you know what? I'm just gonna play macro. I'm just gonna play macro, and I'm gonna play standard. I'm not gonna go for. I'm not gonna go for. I'm not gonna go for Ultralists versus Immortals. I'm not gonna go for Hydra Ling. I'm not gonna go for marching all of my queens to chase one Overlord.
Look, what you're saying is going against like the laws of nature. You know, it's like saying, you know what? It's like patience is gonna be patient. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, what kind of madness are you talking about? Like, it's just not how it works. And we do see, all right, a Roach one is being turned down. When we do have this third on the way, we'll see if MeomaikA actually decides to drone it up. Again, he could just be using it for larva, as we have seen in the past.
He definitely could, and right now MeomaikA with a lot of Lings are going to try to get some kind of run-by going on, and Demi is well aware of this, but I think Sano really brought up a very good point about MeomaikA. He is so good at just making his opponent second-guess what he's doing.
Oh yeah, definitely, and that's exactly this. You know, MeomaikA, he does have the much faster third base. He's not droning up. He's making nothing but roaches right now. He's being active out on the map, you know, trying to distract Demi as he does so. And yeah, we'll see what Demi's able to deduce here. He does manage to sneak a Ling into the main.
Yeah, seems that it's only 2 gas at the moment, but apparently that's all you need if you're MeomaikA.
Yeah, and Demi, he realizes the situation he's in. He throws down 2 spines immediately. He realizes that he needs as much defense as he can get because we have nothing but roaches and Lings in production for Mio.
We are not gonna have a repeat of game number 1 here. Demi taking this a lot more seriously.
Yeah, and he's a little more better prepared. Like, he has roaches, he has a couple of banelings sprinkled in, he has queens, he has Lings, he has spines, but we'll see what he's gonna be able to do because the third is getting quite low.
The third is getting low, the spine is a ways away, and it is down in the red. A couple more volleys from MeomaikA will be able to take this out, but MeomaikA getting a little bit greedy right now. His eyes are on bigger targets, and this is a lot of roaches firing on every single angle. Demi trying to get something done here with Transfuse, but that's a lot of army supply from MeomaikA.
Exactly, the spine goes down, the transfused energy is not there anymore, the queens are out of energy, and the roaches are getting on top of everything. The baiting connections were okay for Demi, but they weren't good enough. There's just so much Zerg here for Mio.
I cannot believe what I have just witnessed here. Like, GG, MeomaikA already on match point.
Already on match points, and mate, there's only one explanation. I love what Zev said in the chat. Mio had to get his skull surgically expanded to make room for his huge brain. Straight facts.
Is that how? All right. Is that the thing with like classic of how we think he has a white chin, but that's actually his second brain?
That's exactly it. Like, that's the only way the body of MeomaikA can contain such a large brain. And like, it's such a shame because Demi, like, honestly, I think that he probably should have given up his third. Like, he did maneuver to try and protect it, but like that really wasn't MeomaikA's goal. And in the end, because of that, Demi, he only ended up fighting with one of his spines. Like, he threw down 2 spines, but the other one was closer to his natural. Like, it wasn't really a part of the fight at all.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you have to really realize what you can afford to give up on to give yourself another fighting chance. And I feel like Demi, I mean, as we said, he is someone who considers his drones to be valuable members of his army. He's too nice. He wants to keep everything alive, whereas MeomaikA, he is willing to make those tough choices.
Yeah, MeomaikA, he's embracing of the fact that sacrifices need to be made sometimes for the greater good, and MeomaikA, he just doesn't care at all about his drones.
Thanks, Mr. Spock. Actually, I don't know the Spock thing. I didn't watch the original series. But we are now loading in onto Jagannatha LE. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left-hand corner map. We have the red Zerg player in his final shot. He loses this game, he is out, and there will be a new Grand Platypus crowned. He needs to turn it around, not just here, but 2 games after this to defend his title. Coming out from India, representing Downfall Gaming, he is the Shark, and he hopefully smells some blood in the water. He is Demi.
And spawning in at the top of right-hand corner of Jagannatha LE. Oh my god, opening up with a very fast gas and pull here in game number 3. Already on match point, 1 more win and he's going to take the entire tournament. And as well as that Grand Platypus title, we have representing Vietnam. It is MeomaikA.
I feel like every time somebody freaks out that MeomaikA goes pool first, I always kind of interject with the whole, well, actually, MeomaikA likes to go pool first defensively as a way to, be safe and drawn up. But yeah, this ain't defensive. Yeah, unless you consider offense to be a defense.
Exactly. This wasn't your typical pool first, like a 16 pool or 17 pool that we've seen MeomaikA do throughout this series. This was much earlier than that, and you know what? Ling speed is already on the way, and he is banking up those Lings to just rush across the map as soon as that upgrade finishes.
Not going to be trickling in whatsoever. He's going to make one quick sprint and see if he can get the victory. This may completely blindside Demi. I mean, he chose Jagannatha for a reason.
Yeah.
I think he was expecting a bit of a slower macro game here,
right.
But
and here we go. Now Demi knows. Now the Overlord has reached the other side of the map. There is no natural hatchery. MeomaikA is on 1 base, and immediately Demi throws down a spine. The problem is we've seen him throw down spines before. Like MeomaikA, he doesn't even care.
No, he does not. 1 spine, it's not going to be what keeps Demi in the game, but it's going to be what buys him enough time to get what else he needs to keep himself in the game. A lot of Lings now being produced for Demi, and he does start on the Baneling Nest. It's going to be a while before it pops out, though. What I'm really looking at is a queen count. Trying to see if he can, get that body block out.
Yeah, the queens are positioned nicely on the ramp. The spine does finish, and we'll see if MeomaikA is going to be able to find some damage here.
Backs away.
Oh, it does back away, but you know what? More Lings are rushing across the map to meet up with these, and eventually he's going to try and commit into this and break through.
Just wants that 1 full surround. I'm loving the position of the spine here, covering the ramp along with these queens. There's a lot of Lings right now from MeomaikA, and they honestly don't do too much damage against the spine. MeomaikA is really focusing it, and it is just not going down. Transfuses are used, and with that, Demi is gonna hold.
Oh, Demi does end up holding. The transfuses were on point on those queens on that spine, keeping everything alive, and he has bought just enough time for his Baneling Nest to finish, and now he's going to be able to morph in those Banelings.
That he will, and now that MeomaikA has seen that, I feel like he should just completely back away. But this is MeomaikA we're talking about! Pulling a Meo! GG's called. Demi turning this around.
GG in classic MeomaikA fashion. Oh my god, he isn't necessarily known for his Ling Bane micro, and just like that, face first into a Baneling.
That was the most MeomaikA game
That
in a
was.
while.
Oh my god. To be fair, even if that Baneling hit didn't happen, like MeomaikA was in such a terrible position. Like he was like he had to deal some like equalizing damage at least, and he just wasn't finding it.
Yeah, he really was not very good. Very good. I wouldn't call it instinct. I would call it more of a decision from Demi there to just immediately throw down a Spore Crawler once he doesn't even see the shadow of a hatchery.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like he took that very seriously, as it looks like MeomaikA's next map pick is going to be Submarine.
Oh, a very different map to Jagannatha, which is why I think MeomaikA is going to play it out very differently.
Or won't he? You know, is he going to go for the massive mind game, right?
He knows that Demi knows that he knows that Demi knows that he knows.
But does he know?
Now? Question mark?
That's the question. Does he know about WCS Game Hearts and how we require them in these lobbies? As we are going to be remaking.
Calling him out.
Getting hashtag called out. God damn it, MeomaikA.
SMH my head. This is what happens when you are whatchamacallit. The Last of Us.
Yeah,
They forgot about Game Heart in the future.
F's in the chat for Justin. I never. That's gonna be a thing now. Poor Elisor, he doesn't deserve this. What does he have? What does he come back to?
Well, he comes back to he came back. He came back to Pez proxy gate stargating him, and then freaking just adepting him. He came back to requesting Claire to cast in Chinese, but Claire not doing that. Or Ares not doing that.
Like, what a poor guy. Like, he comes back and then Pez just doesn't hold back at all. Like, welcome back. Feels bad, man.
Feels bad. Hopefully we do see him again, though. Hopefully Pez doesn't, completely shatter his spirit like that.
For sure. It's been quite some time since we've last seen Elisori really in the scene. I have seen him here and there, like in Twitch chat when we're casting like ANZ champs, or even the qualifiers. I think it was for DreamHack Fall. I think that was the first time I saw him in the past year. So yeah, he's been lurking here and there.
Yeah, getting going around every now and then.
Yeah, as we are looking to get into the lobby. Just waiting for one of our players to...
Oh, Kura's already in the lobby, so she can't accept.
Oh.
I think that's how that works. Just gonna cancel that real quick. Oh, wait. You can do that real quick. God damn it, now she's out of the lobby.
God. What is happening right now? What is happening?
Thanks, Blizzard.
Sorry for the technical issues, but we are just going to eventually get into potentially the last game. Once again, MeomaikA is currently up 2-1 in this best of 5, so he only needs one more win to close it out. Meanwhile, Demi, maybe he has a little bit of momentum going his way after that last win on Jagannatha.
Yeah, it's one of those things which is... I find it really hard to explain or even sometimes understand, but yeah, that momentum of just winning a game, and you're like, oh, actually, I can win. And then you just keep going from there.
Yeah, like player mindset, like it really does have a big effect on their play. We've seen it like hinder players. We've seen people like use it to their advantage as well. Yeah, it does kind of affect, especially like in this tournament setting as well. I know Demi, he can be kind of down when it comes to his ZvZ against some of these other C Zergs, but once he gets a win in there, you know, he can really start to push through.
Absolutely. He is the shark, and just like sharks, they don't once
What do they do?
they blood.
Uh-huh.
They keep going.
Exactly. Yeah, once they start moving, they just don't stop.
Exactly.
Hmm.
They keep
So,
growing.
Hey, they just keep growing, just like Demi.
All right, players are ready. GLHF is called, and now we're gonna be getting into Submarine as part of our best of 5 grand finals, potentially the last one, or potentially the second last one. This is game number 4.
Potentially. Meanwhile,
That's
Starduck. That is math. And Starduck with some more math. Jagannatha is the third smallest map in the map pool by rush distance.
Oh yeah, Jagannatha is kind of like Thor. You think about it, because I think we looked up the Wikipedia and saw it was folklore of some sort. Anyway, we are now loading in onto Submarine LE, the one that we all reside in. We all do live in an LE submarine. And the top left-hand corner of the map, swinging all the way in the top left-hand corner, the Blues player coming out from Vietnam. He is currently teamless, but going to be allowing his body to host the cat spirit that guides him, looking to take that title of Grand Platypus. He is the Jiggly, no longer Jiggly, MeomaikA.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Submarine LE, we have the Southeast Asian Zerg player, the Red Zerg, hailing from the land of India and representing Team Downfall Gaming. It is Demi.
All right. A lot does hinge on this. MeomaikA, he does not want to get into match point, whereas Demi, he does not want to be eliminated.
Yeah, and I love this Demi. He's opening up just like how he did against Gogo Joey. You know, he did go for that gas, or a much faster gas, a later hatchery, so he's going to be prioritizing his link speed in this game.
Indeed, he will. Pulling a little bit of a reverso here on MeomaikA if he is able to do so. And I gotta say this about MeomaikA, he's not one to scout as diligently as Demi is.
Yeah, again, like with this, Demi should be able to obtain map control. MeomaikA, he did go for a pool first, but a later gas, so it was like MeomaikA actually went for a more like safer opening, just to get those lings out. And yeah, we'll see how he fares against Demi. We'll see if Demi plans to go for like a big ling rush, kind of like how he did against Gogo Joey, or if he's just getting this, you know, just to be a little bit, you know, more in control.
Yeah, either way, value being taken from Demi. Or by Demi, I should say. And for now, just gonna get a quick little scout to the base. Doesn't see too much, but you can never really be too sure with MeomaikA, can ya? I just noticed something here, like, when was the last time we saw MeomaikA proxy hatch?
Proxy hatch?
When was the last time we saw him proxy hatch? It's been a while.
A couple of weeks ago, I saw him take a Ninja Natural.
I mean, that's like, that's just a second base.
Yeah. It was weird. I think it was on Demi C week. I can't remember. Yeah, it was. He lost the game. It's just something that you don't do. But yeah. Oh my god, MeomaikA's doing it again, mate. These queens are so active.
Yeah, they really do want to chase everything out of his base, making sure that Demi does not get too much knowledge. But unfortunately, missing the sling, who will confirm the Roach Warren.
Yeah, and I love Demi's response. Immediately throws down the spine, makes a massive wave of lings as well. Like, he does not want to fall to the same thing that happened on Romanticide. And yeah, this time Demi is going to be looking to be the one who's a little bit more aggressive, has plenty more to defend.
I will say, though, not quite the same thing as what happened on Romanticide. MeomaikA actually going for the lair, and I feel like it's going to be a little bit later before he actually pushes out with these roaches. Demi will confirm that lair is on the way.
Yeah, so again, maybe Demi overreacting a little bit, right? Like, he saw the queens were out on the map. He's like, oh my god, he's doing it again. He's pushing, he's coming across the map. I need to throw down the spine. When really that wasn't happening at all. So yeah, MeomaikA actually, you know, going to be the first player to take his third.
Yeah, just really getting into Demi's pockets here. Really making sure you can control the pace of the game. But
Yeah,
Demi is no slouch either. Really wants to make sure he's not getting... What's the term I'm thinking of? Like, not getting pulled over.
yeah,
Pulled fast. What? No. Something along those lines. He's not being tricked, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. I mean, he did like spend a little bit too many resources in the defense, but you know, he's catching up. He is droning up. You know, the layers on the way. He's taking his gases as well. The problem is that it does feel like he's like maybe one step behind MeomaikA at the moment, and because of that, MeomaikA will, like, you know, he has a much faster third that's up. He's gonna have a much faster lair, much faster roach speed as well.
After that, I feel like MeomaikA, he's just not going to be aggressive for a long time coming. Just gonna, you know, sit back, relax, and just continue to get even further ahead.
You say a long time coming. I mean, maybe at least until roach speed finishes. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens once that happens, as we do see quite a number more of roaches coming out for MeomaikA.
Yeah, continuing to pump that up. Why was I so foolish as to think that MeomaikA would be droning that third base?
Oh my god. We'll see. I mean, interestingly, MeomaikA is prioritizing his gas there at the third, taking his fourth gas. And here we go. 5 overlords are on the way. May, this is screaming just massive roach push. Yep.
Yeah, that is screaming. I do not want to be bothered about making supply ever again. I just want to hold down that R key.
Yep.
Get right across the map.
Exactly. 5 drones at the third base is all I need. I'm just gonna make nothing but roaches and push out across the map. To be fair, this time Demi does have a single spine. It was thrown down earlier, but does he have enough on the ground?
That is definitely going to be a question. The spine can buy him some time, but Demi really needs to utilize that time. He really needs to make sure that he's getting something else behind that. Maybe even a second spine. I don't know. Literally anything.
Yeah.
To keep him alive.
I mean, at least maneuvering the spine to help out in this defense, because you know what, MeomaikA, he looks like he does get pushed back for now, but the supply is still skyrocketing in MeomaikA's favor.
It is so far ahead for him. One thing Demi does have going for him, he has his +1. And if it's an even fight, if they're both on even ground, then they're both fighting with the same supply, that will favor Demi. But in a roach versus roach war, positioning is the absolute most important factor right now. And we can kind of see it happening. MeomaikA is still pulling ahead here in this battle. More and more reinforcements come in. MeomaikA absolutely making use of his supply lead.
Yeah, exactly. MeomaikA really showing that it's all about a numbers game. Doesn't even matter if you have that +1 advantage, as long as you have more roaches, as long as you have these bios to force Demi to micro and pull back, then MeomaikA does take this fight.
And he does, and with that, GG is called, a new era has been dawned. MeomaikA is going to be the new Grand Platypus. Long live the king.
Long live the king. GG, well played. MeomaikA doesn't just take Grand Platypus Open number 48, but he is now also crowned the Grand Platypus with the most GPO wins, period, edging it out over Demi with 17 champions under his belt. 17 wins under his belt.
He's got 17 champions under his belt? What are they doing there?
They're paying their respects.
That's what it is. But man, GG, what a series that we had here. Especially our finals. I feel like that was really... might have been kind of what we expected. But, I mean, it did fit those expectations very nicely.
Yeah, again, like Demi does struggle against his style of play. He's very he's very vocal about that, where like he has to be on point with his scouting. It's one of those things in ZvZ where if you drone up a little bit too much, or if you overreact here, like you just fall behind a little bit, and it can be difficult to come back from that. Demi, he did have that +1 advantage, as you said, but at the end of the day, like he was what, 20 supply down in terms of the army supply.
It was not just 20 supply down. MeomaikA was making sure that every single one of that additional 20 supply was firing at Demi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
well, I guess that's kind of implied. I guess that's what you implied. Look, positioning.
Yeah, exactly.
In addition to numbers.
Yeah, the positioning, the map as well, right? Submarines, so those reinforcements just make it that much faster across the map to help out MeomaikA in that engagement. So yeah, and not just that, but like the later third base as well, so less larva was available for Demi.
I'm honestly just a lot more impressed with game number 1 and 2 from MeomaikA. That was some really forward-thinking decisions coming out from Demi, or not Demi, MeomaikA. I mean, still some pretty good defense coming out from Demi, but that was MeomaikA really just taking control of those games, really just seeing far into the future.
Yeah, it did feel like he was in his elements at that time, and again, really impressive. Really impressive play there by MeomaikA, and that is why we want to see MeomaikA up against some of these other players, even outside the region. Like, he's so good here. Like, how does he compare to some of the others, like, players from Latin America or North America or even Korea?
He has a name, like, his name is Cham. I was gonna say the real name of Cham, but I forgot what it was. No, Cham is his middle name. Yeah, that works. But with that was GPO number 48. Really good to see the return of so many of these players, like Pez, like Caesar, like Elisori. Really made for some very close and very interesting games. But at the end of the day, we gotta crown the person who won was arguably the most consistent player of 2020 so far, and he is going to be your new Grand Platypus for at least another week. But honestly, like, with how in form he's looking lately, I gotta say I feel like MeomaikA, he's going to continue this record holding for quite some time. This
reign, if you will.
R-A or R-E? I
think you know which reign I mean, Yaku. But yes, congratulations to MeomaikA on winning the tournaments this week. And as a reminder for people who are tuning in maybe for the first time, Grand Platypus Open is a weekly Southeast Asian / Oceanic tournament that we run. So every single Saturday here, we do host it for these players. And a lot of them, they are returning or reoccurring players like MeomaikA, like Demi, like Gogo Joey.
I mean, I think those are the big three that do reoccur a lot. And we also have players like Azure and like Beastork who do always turn up week after week, or at least fairly often. It's just those big three, they kind of overshadow them.
Yeah, definitely. And I also do want to remind everyone as well, ! Matcherino in the chat if you want to help support this tournament. Of course, every single one of these do have a Matcherino page, and you can use code GPO48 to help boost that prize pool. So yeah, massive shout out to Matcherino and OSC as well. Like they do love to support StarCraft. It's really cool how much they dedicate to it.
It really is. And speaking of OSC supporting StarCraft, in about 11 hours, 11 and a half hours? No, even shorter than that. Wait, math. In soon, we will be back here with Taco Cup number 6, the final playoffs, as well as the grand finals. In fact, actually, round of 8 onwards, all the way into the playoffs. Oh, jeez. I had to keep you. I won't keep you here for too much longer, Light, as you are going to be casting that later.
Yeah, as you should be able to see on screen right now, we do have our weekly schedule, and in 10.5 hours, we are going to be live with Taco Cup number 6, day 2, and it is going to be the round of 8, followed by the round of 4, and the Grand Finals. Taco Cup is a tournament that, you know, it brings all these regions together when it comes to South Korea, Europe, and the Americas. We are going to be having players like Clem, as well as Solar, Cham, Special, Euthermal. They're all going to be Nina. They're all going to be duking it out there against each other. So yeah, if you're interested in that, do wake up early tomorrow morning to tune in.
I won't. I'm gonna be sleeping in.
Oh yeah, I mean that's fair. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I gotta watch VOD.
That's fair. And speaking of VOD, if you want to tune into the VODs, they are all on this Twitch channel, or if you prefer, you can head on over to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, on our YouTube channel, we do split them up on a match-by-match kind of basis. So if you are mostly just interested in one specific player, or one specific matchup catches your interest, you can find it there, not having to sift through all of the timestamps here on the Twitch VOD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And before we do close out, I do want to give a quick shout out. I don't know if you guys mentioned it. Again, Starduck, he's doing better and better every single time, and they even are talking about it, discussing it in the chat. He almost defeated MeomaikA. It was a close series between them, and it's so cool. Every single week, like he gets that much closer when it comes to these other like regular players.
Yeah, I just noticed on the bracket, took a game off of MeomaikA and then almost won if only had a little bit more supply. Man, and if you are interested in seeing what went on that series, subscribe to the channel here on Twitch, or !Patreon, which will bring you to the Patreon page. $5 pledge is all that it takes to get the replay packs from this tournament, from the other tournaments as well.
Yeah, exactly. We really appreciate it if you do decide to support on Patreon. Again, it's completely up to you, but it's a way to support not just the Cranky Ducklings, but also the tournaments that we run, as we have it set up to boost tournaments like the Sea Duckling Open, Master Swan Open, and Grand Platypus Open.
And with that, I think that's all the selling out we really need to do. No, it's not selling out, it's plugs. Yeah. There is a difference I was recently... as I recently learned.
Yep, that's it for us for today. Thank you so much for tuning in for GPO number 48. Again, congratulations to MeomaikA, and we will see you in 10 hours.
Bye!
Ciao.